Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Divorce Made Me Funny. I'm your host, Rheagan, and if you're watching this on YouTube, because I know a few of you guys do, y'all are probably like, Rheagan's not in her bedroom or the couch. Like, what is this new setup? I would very much like to thank the 73 followers that the Divorce Made Me Funny Instagram account has, because that has made me an influencer, and I was able to purchase my own podcast studio. Whoa! I'm totally kidding. I have too many guests to host in my apartment. So I am here with my 3 coworkers. Everyone introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Paige.
I'm Tristan.
I'm David.
And we are in a podcast studio in our current office. And I'm so excited that they're here and they're on. And we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different topics. Maybe we'll see where this conversation takes us, going with the flow. It took us an hour to set this up, so it better go great. But I know that they're all avid listeners, I think, of my podcast, because every Wednesday, Paige will tell me that you're listening to it.
Every Wednesday.
Sometimes it's either you, David, or you, Tristan, where you played it out loud a few times, and I wanted to kill you.
That was me.
So I know y'all know what the weekly bits are. It's your bow day, your humbling experience, and your fave/rec. Now, I can go first if that's the vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
That's good.
All right.
You're the boss.
Get right into it. So just a reminder, your bow day is your favorite day of the week and why. And I really want to say that my bow day is today.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we had a
awesome.
good day at work.
It was good.
We filmed a fun TikTok, and we also worked.
We did work.
Yes, we did work.
And now y'all are all kind enough to sit down and do this with me, and I'm so grateful. And I'm just I'm struggling to look at all of y'all at once. But I'm just so grateful. So definitely a bow day. I'm not wearing a bow, obviously. None of y'all are. But
Never have.
Said you were.
I know, but it just didn't go with the hairstyle
Never
today.
have worn one, David?
I don't think so. Maybe when I was like a baby.
Do baby boys wear bows? Actually, it doesn't matter. It's 24. Anyway, okay, that was my bow day, Paige. What's
That's
your bow
mine.
day?
Oh, my bow day. Was it this week? Was the snow? Was that?
Kind of.
Yeah, is that
kind of
this
snowed
week?
on Monday.
Well, this week has felt like an
Okay,
eternity,
yeah.
so.
My bow day, honestly, was probably Monday because I got to stay home with my dog and work, and it was nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
Nice.
Did you work? I'm just
I
kidding.
did work. I did work.
Yeah, because our boss might hear this. So
I did work.
They're
Tiffany.
definitely listening. Tristan?
My bow day was definitely last night. Went out with some friends and went to this place in Dallas. And we're not that cool. We're not like Rheagan going
Right.
out to all these places.
Right.
She has
We
got
know.
friends. We thought about it one night, and it was like drop her off, run away.
No, wait. Hang on. It was a Christmas party last year, and I was like, yo, who wants to go party with Co-Wetzel? And Tristan and his wife, Megan, were like, we do. And I was like, all right, can you drive me? And they drove me, and they were like, we're going to go find a place to park. And then they never came back.
bro.
That is so mean.
No,
They
they
left her?
they left me with my
her,
they
we
left me
told
with
her
my
we were
friends.
gonna go, and we dropped her off in that place. This is 7th Street in Fort Worth. This is where people die.
Oh
In
my
Fort
gosh.
Worth.
After 2:00, people are dead. So we,
Wow.
we were like,
Gosh.
we're gonna drop off Rheagan. It's cool. Text me when you get home. And I think she did actually.
Did.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay.
Anyway, took away from your bow
So,
day
yeah,
last
my
night.
my bow day went out with some friends. Had a nice fit, cool drip.
Oh my God.
And
He thinks he's
it was
so funny.
if you really want to know, ask in the comments and I'll tell you.
Ask in the comments.
Well, you also got your dinner for free. You didn't even mention that.
Yeah, but I'll talk about that with the rec.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. David?
I'm gonna go with my bow day was Wednesday, and the reason why is after being home with my family and my kids for, I guess almost 4 days in
Yeah.
a row, coming to work and then going back home. They were all in a good mood and just happy to see me, and it was great. Because sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's funny that you're saying that because I haven't had a guest on here with children. And you're like, I love going home to my kids. I'm like, what are those?
Yeah,
Could not be
Not
me.
really.
I love it. I don't always like it.
Okay.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah. All right. Good bow days. Love to hear them. Next to humbling experiences. And I told y'all today that if you want to stick it to work related, not work related like that, but like where we have humbled each other, that would be great. Because my humbling experience was a couple weeks ago when Tristan I had been sick for like the past week and a half. And I was at work and I just had this cough that I couldn't control. And I would try my best not to cough. And I was just like, anytime I would, it was just like this pathetic, like into my arm. But Tristan didn't believe that I was.
No.
He did it.
For context, we sit facing opposite directions.
Right. And so he thought that I was just like coughing into the,
The air.
into the air,
Oh.
into the space.
Literally.
And he turned around and was like, I thought you were being obnoxious on purpose.
I thought she was just coughing straight at her monitor. And I was like, oh my gosh. I broke one day and I almost went up to her and took her arm and said, Rheagan, this is what you do. I was like, probably wouldn't have been the best, but
No, you
I
would've-
was like, please.
He was mad because I think you even looked at me and you're like, is Rheagan just like coughing obnoxiously, like just to spite me?
No, I was using my arm, but I guess it just wasn't close enough to muffle
It was
the
not
sound.
muffled.
I'm so sorry. So I've been painfully aware
I
of
don't
that.
even hear it.
Thank you. And you sit right
Yeah.
next to me.
I
I
know.
think Tristan's just hyper aware of things. But that was my humbling experience. Y'all don't have to do a work like us related one if you didn't have it. But
If it makes you feel any better, Rheagan, I told him to just put his headphones on.
yep. Thank you, David.
It's the right answer.
Well, you know.
Can we skip me because I can't remember mine?
Yeah, we can go to Tristan.
Come back,
We'll
come
come
back.
back to you.
Well, work related. I debated on talking about this, but
Okay.
I was told that one of the social posts that I wrote sounded like an Uptown Valley girl from Dallas. And I was like,
You were brought down to earth real quick.
they weren't wrong.
Oh my gosh.
I read it. They weren't.
They weren't wrong.
Wow. I want to know who said that to you after this.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Stays. Yeah.
Classified.
Yeah.
Classified information.
Bleep
Yeah.
it out.
That's hilarious. I can't think of a humbling moment work related right now.
It doesn't have to be work related. That
But there's plenty. I
Yeah.
know there has been. I've been humbled many times.
mainly by me.
No.
You say it all the time. You're like, you didn't need to humble me.
Yeah. I
Don't call me a liar. This is my podcast.
I don't know that. I don't know that that's 100% true, but we'll let it go. The one thing that comes to mind is I'm going to bring up my child again. My second son. He is. I love him to death, but he's disgusting. He puts everything in his mouth. It's just gross. But he is also the one that never gets sick. But and
He's
yeah.
Training that immune system.
Yeah, but I will say his attention span is like 0. You can't keep a conversation with him. And then one day, while I was watching TV, he came up to me. He's like, "Dad, how come you don't pay attention to me when you talk to me?" And I was just like, "Oh."
Oh,
That
Hit me like hard right in the heart. And I was like,
I don't know if that's humbling.
Well, we'll get there.
it's like dad problems.
Yeah.
Dad issues.
Well, and so I turned off the TV, put the remote down, put my phone down. I was
This
like,
is deep.
all right, Kay, let's. His name is Keone. It's okay. Like, let's talk. And then we talked for like maybe 2 minutes, and then I finally just like asked him a question. And I was like, okay, so like, what do you think? And he looked at me, and he was like, what are we talking about? And I was just like,
He's like, "Get outta here."
You said that I don't pay attention to you when we're talking. And he's like, huh? And then his sister like ran across the room, and he just took off.
Gaslight.
And he just
You're
left
teaching
me
him how to
sitting there.
gaslight.
Gaslight.
And I think I sat there on the couch for like 5 minutes and just contemplated life. And I'm just
That's
like,
pretty good. That's
Humbling.
a solid one.
That is
Yeah,
humbling. I was about to say, I was like, wait, David, I think you're talking about some family problems that we shouldn't
save
be on
that
the
for
internet.
counseling.
yeah, no, it's. I went and talked to Kalani about it, and I was just like, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know what to do, but clearly I failed.
I think you're
that's
fine.
tough.
Thank you.
That's
You're
tough.
fine. Did you think of one page?
Yeah, not a work one. I can't really. I just don't get humbled at work. I need to be humbled more. So
I'll let Ed know.
Yeah.
no, he does humble me.
Oh yeah, the
too
keyboard
much.
thing.
Oh wait, no, I do have a humbling one at work. My typing apparently
Yes.
every single day.
Violent.
I type normal and it's my keyboard, but
No.
apparently it is so loud and everybody makes comments about it all the time. So
It's
that-
like, are you? I don't
Ed,
know.
every day Ed will send me a gif of like somebody like stomping and it's like, this is Paige. I'm like, whatever.
Page on her keyboard.
Yeah. Another one is So I got a dog and woke up yesterday to her throwing up 2 of my underwear.
Whoa.
full underwear. She ate it and it's been in her stomach for who knows how long, and she threw both of them up, and I was like, so I'm scared she's gonna die.
She's fine.
Yeah, so that's happened, and then ever since then she woke me up this morning, poop everywhere in my room, throw up everywhere in my room.
Warned you.
So yeah, don't get a dog. That's just my advice.
Yeah.
Well, and if your dog does like go to the bathroom on other people's doormats, I think you should also pick it up. Like, God.
I just want to clarify that kids do that too.
Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
It's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Thanks for selling that.
Okay, now we're moving on to our fave/recs. Now, this can be anything. Y'all have been asking me all day. Song, movie, TV show, person, book, any activity. It could be anything. Like mine, for example, I think the AC went off in here. Did y'all did y'all feel that? I was like, it was loud and then it wasn't. And I got nervous that something stopped working. My fave/rec is karaokeing.
Yes.
I'm like, y'all, everyone needs to karaoke at least once a month, in my opinion.
I agree.
I would prefer to do it once a week, but sometimes you just get stopped. And I was going through my camera roll last night, and I just found all these videos of me from like years ago and like current of me just karaokeing. Like there's one of me singing Gangnam Style
Wow. I want to
by
Wow.
at a Mexican restaurant. Like this Mexican
How
restaurant
do you
was
sing that?
I know the lyrics. That's how I sing it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I also rapped a Bonfire by Childish Gambino at this Mexican restaurant in front of these like children, and they're like dancing. And I'm like saying like, you know, all the cuss words. I'm like, I'm not holding back at the Mas Fajitas. And I'm just like, so I was just thinking about that. And I was like, literally, I was like, I just think everybody should karaoke. So
I agree.
go out there and karaoke.
Love karaoke.
And maybe I'll like post a compilation like on the Instagram of just all these videos of me karaokeing, so people
You
like
should.
understand how much I loved
when we
karaoke.
when we went karaokeing, it was weird for sure, but it was actually kind of
It was so much
right?
fun.
It was
I
fun.
think we
You
bonded.
just let
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
After like
Yeah.
years of pestering our boss to like take us on a
Years.
work event to karaoke, I was like, please, it's all I want. I have never wanted anything more in this life. We finally got to do it a couple months ago, and it was the best day ever.
I love the small rooms, but my favorite is when there's a crowd of people.
Oh yeah,
And it's so fun.
Yeah.
and they hype you up.
It's like the
Oh,
adrenaline rush you get.
oh yeah.
Incredible.
So you sang in front of people like that?
Yeah.
Dang.
New Year's Eve, last year.
Look at
All right,
you.
cool. Look at you.
I
I did
sang, tell me what you want, what you really, really, that one.
Okay, wannabe
Yeah.
by the Spice Girls. All right, but yep, that's my fave/rec.
Okay, I love that.
Okay, just
Sorry.
I'm like, wait. There's a soundboard.
That's awesome. Yes.
Okay, Paige, what's your fave/rec?
So my fave/rec is ballroom dancing. I just started a class, and I have one this weekend on Saturday. It's like an hour and a half for the waltz, and I highly recommend. It's so fun, and yeah, that's it. Ballroom dancing.
Just ballroom dancing. I mean, it does look like fun.
It's so fun. You can go single. They set you up with a partner. You don't have to have a significant other, unfortunately. And
Hey,
yeah, you're set.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Tristan.
So I'll get into my rec, but my main rec of all time will always be
Twilight.
Twilight. Rheagan and I are kindred spirits. Apparently, she has a Twilight memory box with Band-Aids that are Twilight themed.
Mm-hmm. I've got scripts. I've got a cardboard cutout. I've got a hairbrush. A phone case.
Wow.
You name it, I got it in that Twilight
Don't
box.
you have trading cards too?
I don't have trading cards.
No, like
No,
him.
no,
Oh.
but we do have a trivia game. Let's totally do
Let's
that.
play it.
But my major rec is that we went to the speakeasy in Dallas last night. It's called The Parlor, and it is ran by a mixologist, and his name is Adam. And he has a barback named Bryce. They were the coolest dudes. Adam's been everywhere, makes the best drinks. They're not that expensive. They're only $14 per drink.
Not bad.
he gave us our food last night, which was probably worth north of $50 for free.
Like each dish or like all
Just
together?
all together.
Okay.
Wow.
And he was like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, we're trying to get locals in here. Y'all are the best. And I was like, dude. So check it out. It's in the Sheraton Dallas. Let them know that I sent you there. They won't know who the heck I am.
It'll be like, Tristan sent me. Never heard the name.
Yep.
That's
Never heard
awesome.
that.
You gotta go to the parlor.
Oh,
Parlor,
man.
okay.
Parlor.
Alright.
Should you explain to your audience how we all said never heard the name at the same time?
No.
We can't talk about our clients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's leave it like that.
But if you do go to the parlor, tell them that Tristan Miller said that he wants a gift card.
Even though you already got your food for free.
Yeah, you
What
basically
more
got
do
a
you
50
want?
I'm like, you're being kind of greedy right now.
You basically got a $50 gift card. You just had to use it at the same time.
I want what I want.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
I'll give it. I'll give it to you.
Yeah. All right. My wreck. I've been struggling with sharing one because I don't want to like sound old. Because I kept thinking about like all these old people.
I don't think there's
So-
anything
What do you mean?
wrong with whatever your fave/rec is because
Yeah.
it's special to who you are.
All right.
That's what makes this podcast so special.
car wash membership.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Now
Why
find
are
a
you
good
so
place.
shy about that?
I don't know, but you have to find a good place, or else they will mess up your car.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I'm tired of seeing these busted, ugly.
Nissan Rogues.
no, just dirty cars. Wash your car, guys.
Are you talking to us?
My
Like-
car is dirty
like
right now from
telling
the
us to
storm.
Straight shot at Rheagan.
No, never at Rheagan.
Please.
I'm just tired of seeing like leaves on your floorboard.
Oh,
Oh.
there's not leaves on my floorboard.
That's mine. You're talking about mine.
I haven't been in your car. So
I
don't
get
know.
it. My entire
kidding.
family
That was
has a car wash membership, and I guess they got it when I was in college because I was just like left out of it, whatever. But yeah, they just go through. It costs no money. They just do the whole thing. Well, it costs money, but
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. And I'm like, I would go through a car wash every day
Yeah.
if I had a membership because one, I love car washes. Nothing gets me going more than seeing the colorful bubbles. So
Yeah, and yeah, if you get the ones with like the
Therapy.
LED lights, because then the kids get like all.
what
they're
kids,
all-
David? What kids do I
My dog.
have?
Yeah, your dog can probably get like
Dog.
super just like animated by it all. But yeah, find the good places because then you get like the high end wash, and then you get all the cleaning supplies, and you don't have to do it at home. Especially y'all that live in apartments, you don't really
Right.
have a driveway to
You don't?
you know
Thank
do
goodness.
that.
That's a good rec, David.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's so much faster, and you don't have to worry about having equipment and stuff at home like a vacuum for your car. I mean, I have a vacuum, but I don't like using it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's a good rec.
Yeah.
Like that's actually like a really good rec. I don't know why you're so embarrassed by that.
Thank
It's
you.
better than what were you gonna say? Mentorship. He was like, "Is that lame?" I'm like, a little
We're
bit.
getting a little.
Yeah.
That's where you're getting older.
Also, mentors are good for you.
They are,
Yeah.
but we'll get into that. Okay,
Will we?
getting right into it now. I feel like the first thing we should talk about is how we're done with the weekly bits. I'm sure they realize that, but just in case they're slow and stupid and they need to be caught up, I think we should talk about how we are all we're all in the same age range. We're all in our mid to late 20s, and we're all literally like me and Paige are kind of the same,
Yeah.
but we're all in like different stages of life, and I think it's cool how we have come together as well at first coworkers, but now I would say, dare I say friends?
You have the effect for that.
Oh, friends.
Yeah.
Wow. The land of make-believe.
Literally. And so I think just maybe chit-chatting about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some thoughts, maybe where you're at, since we didn't really introduce y'all in the beginning because I wanted to save that introduction for here
Yeah.
and not get, too sidetracked. So I'm Rheagan, I'm 24, and I'm chronically single.
I'm Paige. I'm 25, and I am single. Just regular single.
Just regular single.
We're not advertising. Maybe. I am Tristan, and I am 27, I think. Yes, I'm 27. I am married for 4 years, been with my wife for 10 years. High school sweethearts. What up?
Megan just
Shout
rolled
out
her
Megan.
eyes.
She did. She totally did. She's doing this, listening.
She's doing that
She
right
just
now.
turned it off.
She turned.
And we have our first little girl on the way. She's due on my birthday, March 10th.
If I had to share a birthday with my baby, I'm just kidding.
I think it'll be cool. But
That's if she comes on the due date.
she will. Her name is Rosalind, named after the Bon Iver song From New Moon.
Twilight.
Also, what up?
Oh man,
Did you have to convince Megan of that, or was she on board?
I had a few names. This is a humbling moment. My first name was Arabella, and
Oh.
it's from a movie.
Didn't I tell you? Did you tell that to me?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
The first name is Arabella. My Slavic Romanian in-laws, they told me that it is a gypsy name.
Oh.
So that got shot down. Thank you, Tanya. And
oh man.
Well, it's like
hard feelings.
when my mom was gonna want to name me Claire. And no offense to the Claires out there, this is not like a dig at you guys. I'm friends with a Claire. There's a Claire that listens. I love you so much, Claire. My uncle was like, "That's a fat redheaded's name," and I was like,
Oh.
"So because
No offense to the
it was someone he went to like school with,
Oh yeah.
and so I was like, I
We
can't
all
believe-
got that.
So
Yeah.
I got
Somebody.
it got to Rheagan. So
I have that with like Jessica's. If I meet a Jessica, it brings me back to second grade. My first girlfriend, her name was Jessica. And after I finally got the courage to ask her out, and this is being like first or second grade, at recess, she was holding hands with my best friend.
wow.
And then I went up
We
to her.
hate Jessica.
I went up to her and she was
Low.
like, "What? I can't have two boyfriends?" Broke my heart. Every time I see a Jessica, I think about her.
That cheater.
We've
That's
all been
crazy.
there.
Anyway,
Anyways,
David, introduce yourself.
hello, Rheagan's audience. I am David. I am married to my beautiful wife, Kalani, for 8 years now, and going on 9. And we have 4 wonderful kids. I was gonna put another adjective there, and I got lost. Yeah, I have 4 kids, 3 boys, 1 girl. Sora, Kaoni, Gracelyn Joy, and Cadence.
We love them,
Yes.
even though they hate me.
No, none of them. They all love you, Rheagan.
No, I'm just kidding. The first
It's-
time I ever met them.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't touch other people's children if I don't know them. Like,
That's a good.
That's a good
no,
thing.
like if not like that. Y'all are making it weird.
No. I think
But
you-
like,
Tristan.
like they came into the office and they knew everybody else. I had like just started. Tristan's laughing.
dying.
He's dying. But they all like went up and were hugging everybody else, and I wasn't gonna hug your kids because I barely knew you and I didn't know them, and I didn't want y'all to think I was weird. So then they were just like staring at me, and I was just staring at them. I was like, I'm not touching you. And so I'm like convinced. And then there was that one time they came to my apartment because you were fixing the washer. And I was like, do y'all want to watch TV? And he, I think,
Sora.
It was Sora. He was like, we have our iPads. And I was like,
iPad kids.
Yeah. No, let me be clear. Our kids are not iPad kids. It was, we brought them there because we didn't want them to break anything. And that's when we would give them iPads.
yeah.
Like,
There's-
you will
That's
sit
good.
here and not touch anything.
and there's nothing to break. There wasn't anything to break.
Yeah.
But
But no, my kids, I just want to, my kids love all of you.
Yeah.
And I would
They've
say
never met me.
Never met.
they haven't met you yet. So if we ever talk about like Paige, they're like, who's Paige?
They
It's
need
just-
to meet me.
I know. They just
Never
need to come
heard
to the
the name.
office.
and then they'll call you Miss Paige.
Yeah, they will. They'll call you Miss
Oh.
Paige.
So sweet.
They're
Yeah.
so sweet. What's it like, David? Let the audience know
Yeah.
about not even being 30 and having 4 children.
Well, you had kids all in your like beginning of 20s, right?
Yeah, my wife got pregnant. I was 21. I was 20, and then I turned 21, and then like 30 days later, I became a dad.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was. Well, I'll preface it with this one. My wife and I started dating. She was like, "When I'm 21, I want to be a stay-at-home mom." And at first, I was like, "This is weird."
You're like, good luck.
But then like I felt peace about it, and I was like, okay. And sure enough, it happened. She's a stay-at-home mom
Ooh.
with 4 kids.
Nice.
What was your question again?
Just
What's
how
it
it's
like?
like.
Oh,
How do you think it shaped you into the person that you are?
I will say I grew up a lot faster.
Oh, duh, you
That
have
makes
to.
sense.
Yeah, I grew up, and I realized that sometimes people my age were a little too immature for me to be around. because I had just had to more. I would say more in my earlier 20s. Now in like the mid to late 20s, kind of like you guys, y'all's maturity level I feel like doesn't bother me. But when I was like 20 to 24 and being around other people that were 20 to 24, it annoyed me.
That makes sense.
I just couldn't stand being around those people because the maturity level was completely different. I feel like once you hit like 24, 25, I don't know, something just changes.
Doesn't
whether
your
you have kids or
frontal
not.
lobe
You're fully developed.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. I think mine developed very fast.
I don't think that's how anatomy works, but
I don't
I'll
know.
let you.
mentally?
I dropped out of medical school, so I have no clue.
You did.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
yeah, I don't unless you really want to do it, and I would even say called to do it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Wouldn't recommend having kids.
Not this no.
Or like
Not this many this early.
Not
No.
this many this early.
Oh,
I think like at the age that Tristan and his
Yeah.
wife is, I think is a good time to start. We started early because we wanted to, and we struggled. We dealt with things that were just crazy to deal with, but we made it.
Like, you guys, we wanted this.
do you
Yeah.
feel like we love your kids. We love that they're here. Do you feel like you missed out?
There are times, yes, I felt that way, but when I think about like, man, would I go back and like not have my first? And then I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't even process in my head to like not have him in my life.
Oh my gosh, we're
So-
gonna cry here.
Let's
No.
cry together.
It's so funny because it's like there are times where he'll annoy the crap out of me because he's a lot like his mom. And
Sorry, Kalani.
I'm kidding. No,
Kalani's amazing.
she is. He's very opinionated. And sometimes he'll look at me and just like kind of tell me like, well, this is how it is. And I'm like, dude, you're 8 or you're 7, whatever age you are. Cause I can't remember right now. I know more than you and this is how it is. And he's like, ugh. And he'll like roll his eyes at me and it like fire turns on in me. And I'm just like mad.
Disrespect.
Like, don't you ever did. No, I'm kidding. But, and then I just remember how much I love him.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And then, yeah, I definitely missed out on a lot of stuff, but it's not what I missed out on is not worth replacing the relationship that I have with my son.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think
Good
that's a
answer.
point.
Snaps.
Snaps.
Thank you.
Like,
That's
There's
a
an
whole
applause button.
conversation.
oh, there is.
Oh, that's better.
I don't know which one it is though.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Womp womp. That
It's like a
one.
colorful board.
I think it's this one. Oh no, I'm still laughing. Okay, we'll figure it out later.
Close enough.
Boom, boom. Maybe it's this one. No, it's not that one.
I don't
That one is
think
like
someone
random
recorded.
lady voices, and they're like,
Oh,
"Wait, I think we can
no.
record on here."
Yeah.
Weird. It was weird. I was like, I don't like that. Tristan, do you think you're ready for your first kid?
I am excited. I will say I was stressed when we were talking about starting, but for different reasons. Megan's the same way. She wants to stay home when we had our first baby. And for me, I've always wanted to be able to give that option to her. It's women can choose to work or not work or, be boss babes however they want to.
Boss babes. I'm gonna start using that.
Total babes.
I think that's a
And-
millennial.
And that's totally cool. And so, but for us, that's what she wanted to be able to do. And so that puts pressure on me financially to be able to provide. And that's why I have wedding videography outside of work so I can create income to replace her income. Because for me, I didn't want to go switch a job and get into sales and be like my dad and work crazy hours, be glued to my phone. And so for me, that's what I was really worried about. I'm excited about being a dad. I'm excited about being a dad. I think the sound does sound off.
I think I can hear one of you breathing. Sorry, keep going. Or maybe it's just myself and I'm being crazy. I think it's fine. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That was okay.
You were like, I was going like this, and then I was like, and you were
I
like,
heard it
what's
too.
going
Just
on?
like-
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited about being a dad, but I had to have some of those conversations. I think David actually is one of the people that really helped me through that, where I asked about his story and just said, hey man, level with me. What's it like for you? You've had 4 kids, your wife doesn't work. We work at the same company. What's your experience been? And after he talked to me about that, it really took that stress away from me. And I was like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. Everything works out. There's no reason to stress. You know, money's money. We can always make more money. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
The Lord provides.
Amen.
Amen. I'm trying to think of what I wanted to say next. I'm a great host.
You
guys.
are. You're amazing.
Oh,
we love
please.
working with you.
Maybe working
You have
together.
so many things.
The importance of like, I think also we talked about this when we went out to lunch or something, like how the importance of like that healthy work environment is. Because we were just talking, like you were talking about, it was when we went to the biscuit place.
Yes.
And you were just like, I love that, like, we can just go to lunch together and it's like normal,
It's like
you know?
fun.
What I want to be, we can be able to go spend time with each other and we can work around each other and not even necessarily talk, but then it just feels good and it feels right. And that's something about work where it's easy to just be like, I'm going to stay in my lane. You know, the people here aren't my friends. You hear all the time, like, your coworkers are not your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And in some degree, I understand what they mean by that.
Yeah.
But work is where you spend most of the amount of your time. You are separate from your loved ones when you are working.
Mm-hmm.
While you are working. So it's important to be able to enjoy your time with your coworkers because, you know, what's the point of, you know, this part of our life if we can't enjoy it?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also saw something, I can't remember where I read it. I probably read it in the New York Times, aka TikTok, where
The news channel.
where it's like your coworkers, yes, are your friends, but they're like a different kind of friend.
Right.
Where it's like you're
Situational
right,
friends.
like you're not that, but it's like you wouldn't think that you would be. I don't know how to
You
explain
wouldn't
it.
be friends necessarily outside of work. Like you wouldn't like find those people, you know?
Yeah.
Right, like where would I ever find David?
Right.
Right.
Right. That's
Our
true.
our paths outside of work probably would have never have crossed.
Right.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, like a situational.
Yeah,
like,
we're not going to
friendship.
7th Street. And
Shut up! I don't go to 7th Street. I did.
Too many
did.
people died last year.
It's like Co-Wetzel was just out there. Oh, I could talk. No, sorry, that's a different conversation for a different time. It
But I
was
think that's
another-
a good point you make. I mean, I think that's true. We probably wouldn't be friends outside of work, not because we're too good for each other, but I think it's just because we are in different lanes, so we wouldn't cross paths. But the fact that we met here, we're able to go and hang out and have lunch, or like even in corporate or not corporate company parties, we still kind of hang out even there, and our spouses get along with y'all, and even my kids love you, Rheagan, and they just need to meet you, Paige.
Yeah.
And they love Tristan and Megan too, and they love everyone that we work with. I mean, it's a testament to just the culture that we have too at work that allows us to have that.
I will say, last year at Christmas party, Megan thinks that Rheagan is a total babe.
Oh.
She was
Me?
Like,
What
she
did
was like, I'm gonna
Okay.
sit by Rheagan at the Christmas party to
Wow.
get to know her.
What did I wear at the Christmas party last year? Oh, I know exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing this blue sweater and my fun jeans, or they're not jeans, they were fun pants from Zara. What?
good
You
memory.
said
She was a
babe. I was
babe.
Good
thinking
memory.
about what I was wearing.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
it was also the same night as Co-Wetzel. I knew what I was wearing.
Yeah.
How many times can I talk
Makes
about
sense.
Co-Wetzel in this podcast episode? I'm like, love him, even though he looks kind of dirty.
Did you ever tell Megan, like, man, David, he's such a stud?
Well, I did tell Megan that you are my work wife.
Who
All
would
right.
be the work wife? Like
Next topic.
Definitely.
you or you?
No. It's definitely Tristan.
Yeah, I'm
Whoa.
sorry. You're the work wife.
Yeah.
Yes, I like where this is going now.
Okay, this is where this is headed. I am the punching bag for these guys.
Okay, yeah,
Well,
you guys.
you do that to yourself sometimes.
No,
I do.
but it
100%.
started. I hate to be
100%.
the one to admit this, but it started because of me, totally by
100%.
accident. Like Tristan was like brand new on our team, and he was just hyping someone up. You know, like he's just like, he's so cool. He's got this and that, and
Tatted up.
like all this stuff. And I was like listening to him talk, and I kid you not, he was probably on the team for like 2 weeks. And I was like, "Do you have a crush on him or something?" And then he was like, "What? What?" And then I went around to every single person on the team at the time. I was like, "Tristan has a crush on blah blah blah." Christian has, and then everybody was like, "Oh," and then it just kind of
and
went.
then, yeah, me and Ed, we just took it from
It
there.
went from there.
It literally
I-
is an everyday thing now.
I am Metro. That does not mean.
But to Paige's point, you do this to yourself.
You do kind of sometimes. You'll say something and then you'll look around. and
You
you're
like it.
Paige.
Don't act like
Okay.
you like it.
Okay, it took Paige probably 2 weeks. For one day, she just says something, and I'm looking at my laptop, and I'm like, who
Are you?
This girl.
Who does this girl think she is?
It's like, oh, she's comfortable.
Yeah.
Like she is.
It's like, all right.
That was one of my favorite things coming here, though. Like, y'all made it so comfortable, and it just felt like everybody was friends, and that made it so much easier to start working here.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my gosh, I
Yeah.
love that.
I will say, yeah, we definitely, I think, like each other.
Mine took a second.
All of us.
Like each
I'm gonna
other.
say.
I feel
It's
like,
because you started off as an intern.
yeah,
And
that's
I
a
guess
little
that's true.
different. You
I
were
was
in
like
college.
Part-time. I was like, who are these people?
Oh wow. So I guess so I was here before all of y'all. Rheagan was before the two of you, and then you. Then
Yeah,
Paige.
I was last.
And I
You're
came
last.
in.
Wonder if
Sorry,
there's
Boston.
going to be a new person.
I guess we'll
yeah, a
see.
fifth person to add to the
Ooh.
table.
Oh yeah.
We should like play pranks on them.
No, okay, this
Okay,
offline.
anyway.
Offline.
Offline. This is positive. We'll talk about it later.
It's
Seven.
well, I will say that we do have a healthy amount of bantering, which
Yes.
isn't everybody's deal, but we do have a healthy amount of bantering,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what makes it fun.
Yeah. Too much, I would probably go home and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always used to tell because they would like bully the heck out of you, and then
He definitely went through a hazing.
I definitely have. I still have my work filter on. I don't think I've cussed at all since this has started, and usually I'm like da da da. So I'm like, when I just said heck just now, I was
It's a
like,
clean episode.
Unleash
who the hell?
You can let it go.
I know
You're
I
not
am
gonna-
now. I just realized I'm taking off that filter. I'm like, I can't.
Just let one out right now.
To repent.
Well, it needs to come naturally.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just sounds stupid.
It's like when he was like, Rheagan, talk, be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Christmas
It's all
party.
funny.
But when I lost my train of thought. Oh, when you were talking about bantering and kind of the slight bullying, if anyone bullied me as much as you get bullied, Tristan,
I'd be gone.
I would be like, this is an unhealthy, unsafe work environment. I'm going to go home and cry. I'm going to cry in the
I
bathroom.
literally absorb it all for you.
I'm literally, no, literally, I'm like, sometimes I was like, I don't know how Tristan takes it.
Does it hurt your feelings?
I've never had my feelings hurt.
That's good.
Oh.
Not
okay.
from that. No.
Perfect.
If he did,
Some other things.
if
but-
he did,
We would
I
have
would.
we
I
would have
would
stopped.
No.
Yes, you would have.
It'd
he
make it
told me-
worse?
if he told me his feelings would hurt, I would call BS because he sets himself up. He literally throws us alley oops and expects us not to dunk it. Like, come on,
I love
we're
that
gonna
you said
dunk it.
alley oops. Like,
Yeah,
There's a
alley
sound effect for
oops.
that?
I know,
'Cause
but
they're
you
oops
did-
for him.
never heard it like said
Okay.
like each
Two
syllable.
words, yeah.
Sorry. English is my second language.
Oh my god.
There's a
Okay.
part of life where you just have to be able to laugh at yourself
Yeah.
because divorce made me funny.
Yeah, you got it.
True.
Yeah.
Amen. That's right.
Yeah, and no one understands my band, or I guess everybody does, but I feel like y'all get the most of it, of just me saying the most random things.
And that's why I'm like, Rheagan, say something funny because all you have to do is say something, and it's hilarious.
But it's like it's got to be timed right, and
It is the random side is definitely
yeah,
Yeah.
some of the funniest
good.
part.
The dark humor, though.
yeah.
is.
Sometimes y'all, I say things and I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. It's like when we were, I don't know how I got away with this, but we were all sitting around working, and I literally looked to our boss, and I look at her and I go, I'm bored. And
I remember that.
And she looked at me and she just starts laughing. And she was like, usually I would be so irritated. Like when my kids are telling me they're bored, it's just irritating and blah, blah, blah. She was like, I don't know why for some reason I find it funny when you say it. I'm like, I don't know.
It's so out of pocket at work to your boss.
Yeah, when I think I was there when you said that.
Oh yeah, no.
And then I think I was in the middle of working, and as soon as you said that, I was just like,
And-
like stopped and like just.
The thing is that
waited.
I was working. Like it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. I think I was just bored with what I don't know what I was doing. And I just think I just said it out loud and I was like,
I think it's when you were still an intern.
It was, yeah.
Oh,
So I was
They
easily
still hired you.
disposable.
They still
I also spelled marketing wrong on my resume and still got hired. So
marketing.
And they were like, oh.
Kidding.
It's the authenticity.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
She makes mistakes. That means she's willing to learn.
She's real. We can mold her to be what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's so funny. I've never thought of it that way. I should start saying it like that. Marketing.
Yeah.
Do y'all know what
Yeah.
that is?
Digital
Well,
marketers.
Wait, no, we're not.
Oh, wait. You just did a... I told
An
Tristan that
accent.
every time he did an accent, I was going to make
Wait,
that
we have to
sound.
let him do like just one little.
Yeah,
accent thing.
I won't do the noise.
He does this all the time.
Yes.
And you need to scratch that itch. I know you do.
Just say
Yeah.
something.
You know, I might just talk in an accent maybe once, twice,
Okay.
maybe thrice.
All right,
Okay.
that's it.
Gives a take.
Oh,
Okay.
nope. She said that was it.
Good job.
That was
Cut
good. That was really good, Tristan. So proud of you.
One of my
Okay.
other favorite things that we've been doing is making TikToks more, and
Yes.
we just made a kind of a skit today. That was
Yeah.
really fun.
That was fun. We did it as a joke before the holidays. We did the troll. We do it better.
That was good.
Was that a new
Yeah.
movie? Or is
Yeah.
that from like the last one?
It's the
It's
second
the
one.
no, it's the last one.
Oh.
The
Trolls.
third? There's a third movie?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Didn't know
I
that.
feel like as
I-
a dad I should know that, but I had no clue.
Trolls World Tour.
Okay.
Let's get the band back together.
I saw the first two.
Okay.
That counts.
I didn't know that the middle of my sentence was interrupting the beginning of yours.
Ooh,
Just
got 'em.
kidding. But we did it as a joke. And
I was looking for the trash. So I can jump in.
and we sent it to our bosses and they were like, this is amazing. More of this in 2024. We were like,
More.
all right. So now every week we're like, let's get it.
We're doing this.
We're the social girls.
We are.
And we're just like planning these
Y'all
out.
are the social girl.
I was talking about us.
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't being included. You can
And we've
include
got
me.
we've got our actors sitting
Hey.
right
Our
there.
social boys.
We're- yeah.
There you go. Social. Don't do that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
No gang signs.
No gang, no gang
We'll
signs.
blur it out.
Past life. Yeah, blur it out.
Blur it
Okay,
out.
past life.
It's fine. It'll be fine. If someone comes in like stabs me in my sleep, it's okay.
Oh my God.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, lived a life. I also have a note here, and if y'all don't have any, we can skip this topic. But David said he had one, and it was just like previous coworker horror stories, not from our company, like a different job that you have. Just like you worked at a grocery store, you've got to have something.
Yeah. Well, so yes, I have a ton, but I wasn't thinking like coworker. It was more just like an event that
That
happened.
could be it too.
So it was my last day as an assistant manager at Sprouts. That's where I worked before, and it was my last day. It was supposed to be the easiest night in my work history there. It was like, it was a slam dunk kind of night. I'll keep using my basketball references. But it was in December, and it was, I think, the year before that ice storm that we had. Maybe not. I don't remember. I just remember it being super cold. And what happened was we had like new people working there, and they were dumping grease and oil down the drains. And there's another drain for the oil because Sprouts, they cook food and things like that. So the old oil is supposed to go in one specific drain. They were dumping it in like the sink drain, and you don't do that. So what happened? The lines froze because of oil. What happens when oil gets super cold? It turns solid.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, I just hear this loud pop, and I go to the back of the store to figure out what happened. And the exhaust pipe that's in the middle of the floor is just gushing out sewage water mixed with expired and gross food that just goes down the drain, and it's just all over the produce and all over, and it's just exploding like from the floor to the ceiling. And I'm just like, what's going on? I had to call a plumber. He couldn't be there until like 2 a.m. and the store closed at 10 o'clock.
And that was your last day.
That was my last day. And
I would have just left.
I know.
I really wanted to, but my integrity kept
Yeah,
me there.
I get that.
And then another pipe exploded.
Oh my gosh.
So then the front of the store started flooding all of a sudden. And I don't know why, because I was like, I thought this was in the back. there was a exhaust pipe in the front of the store right behind the manager's office. All of a sudden there's water on the floor, and the water stunk. It was like, it was
What a way to leave. What, did they think it was you and you just sabotaged because it was your
no,
last
everything
day?
was on camera.
You're like, screw you,
I
everyone.
was no, everything was on
if
camera.
I'm going down,
luckily.
you're going down with me.
It was so funny because we saw pictures recently that I took on my phone from what happened. There's a video, and I just got to find it because I captured it I took a video of the camera feed, and you just see like a normal stock room, and all of a sudden you just see this pipe and water just bursting up into the air, and that was doo-doo water.
Oh.
Yeah. They had to throw away all that produce.
Nasty.
And I was there, and I remember texting our boss because I still had to come here the next day. And I was like, hey, I'm probably not going to leave here until like 2 a.m. And so I'm going to sleep in and come in to work late.
You're like, sorry, I got to go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, because I think I actually ended up getting home at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
And I worked that morning here from 8 to 1, went to my last day at Sprouts at 2:30, and I didn't leave until 3 a.m.
You know, one time I went to bed at 3 and still came to work.
Oh. Did you work all day cleaning up poop water?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
She was out.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. So that was a disgusting way to finish off my career
That
at
is
Well,
Sprouts.
that's pretty
one.
bad.
Pretty rough.
Pretty bad.
I used to work at a restaurant, and y'all know. Have any of y'all worked in a restaurant?
I worked at McAllister's.
Fast food count?
A little bit. You know how they're full of like literally every shape, size, age of a human being.
Oh,
Yeah.
You've
yes.
got like convicted felons. You've got
Right. Exactly. Yes.
a single mother of 2. You've got family man. Like you've got high school kids, which was what I was. You've got all of them, right? And there was this server. I was a hostess. There was another hostess with me. We were both. She was 15. I think I was probably 16. I think, or we were. She was 16. I was 17. It was something like that. And there was a server there who recently had gotten out of jail for like cocaine or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I think he had a kid. I was like, nice. And he went up, not to me, thank God, I would have been scarred for life, but he went up to the other hostess I was working with and was like, you should come home with me, like, on my break. He was also like 32, like he was in his 30s. He's like, you should come home with me, like, on my break. And I don't want to use her name.
Call her Jane.
Jane was like, not that she would like listen to this or anything, but still privacy thing. She was like, oh, like she was trying to be like, not no, like shut him down. Cause like men can be scary like that sometimes, you know? Like, so she was just like, oh, like my mom like has my location. Like she's going to know where I'm at, like all this kind of stuff. And he was like, well, just leave your phone here. Like leave it with Rheagan. And she was like, no, like, blah, blah, blah. And he was just being really creepy and he kept coming up and doing that. And then like 15 minutes later, he came back up to the hostess stand and was like, well, this is what you're missing if you don't come.
Uh-oh.
And it was a picture, an
Stop.
unsolicited picture of that. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
and so Jane told me all of this, and I'm a tattletale, y'all. I will.
Yeah,
I'm like that is.
tell on
I'm
that.
like that is not. I don't mess with that. Like that's nasty.
Yeah. Oh
my
And
gosh.
I was like, if you don't tell on him, I will. And she was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, okay, I will. And the reason I got that job was because the manager's wife owned the place where I got my eyebrows done. So she was like, I was like, I need a job. And she was like, go to my husband. And I was like, all right. Her husband was the worst. He sucked. But yeah, I went up to him and I was like, hey, you hired a child molester.
Oh gosh.
And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't remember his name. I wish I could. I was like, he's trying to get Jane to go home with him. And I don't feel comfortable working here if you keep him on. If you don't fire him, I will. Or I will.
I will.
You're fired, by the way.
I was like, if you don't fire him, I quit. And then he was like, all right.
Did he get fired?
Yeah, right there on the spot.
Dang.
On the patio.
Good.
So yeah, I don't think I put a child molester in jail, but I attempted to.
Good job.
And just I might have missed it, but was your friend like a minor?
Yeah, she was like a year younger than me.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, you're
messed up.
nasty.
Men are nasty.
People,
Well, hold on.
Okay, a
Easy
lot of
men,
men.
Betty.
A lot of men.
you're nasty.
Whenever I worked at the movie theater, I was 16, and I worked the ticket area, which is like you see outside, and it's like the glass window. whenever I would work there, when I was like by myself, it was like 11 p.m. The managers, there was these 2 guy managers. One was like 30, one was probably like 30 also, I don't know. They would always come in and like be like, hey, you want to take a ride in my Mustang with me? And I'm like, no.
Wow.
And they're like, come on, like, please, like,
Smooth.
Wow.
like, come on, like, after work, like, just get in my Mustang with me. I'm like,
Whoa.
no.
Whoa.
And I'd be by myself in there, like,
Your
it was-
man.
Yeah, the manager.
Dang.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Some of them, they need to be checked. It's always the ones with power too.
Mhm.
I know. So gross.
I will say there's a lot of weirdos in retail management.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
retail
I'm speaking
is
that
better.
from
I
experience.
feel like retail though is better than food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Food is hard.
Yeah, I
There's
feel like
always
food's
there's
worse.
always like something going down with the food.
True. I had someone when I worked at McAllister's. I had this old man Ninja Star throw his debit card at me. Literally, because I put a brownie on his order and he didn't want a brownie. He literally like Ninja Star threw it at me,
Oh my
and then I
gosh.
went in the back and cried.
Oh, Paige.
One
Oh my
time I got
gosh.
yelled at because I was working, and a part of my job was when we didn't have our busser on like busy days, the hostess job was to bus, the tables.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That's bussin'. Is that what
Yeah.
y'all say?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Is
that our
I don't think
generation?
I don't think anybody says that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
But
I don't.
I was carrying like all this like dirty plates and to the back, and I had slipped, and they all like I caught them, so they all like all of this food like fell on my shirt, and I was like, I'm the first thing people see when they come in. I'm covered in food, so I asked who I had a crush on at the time, our bartender Jack. I loved him. I was like, where can I get can I get another shirt? Like, do we have those here? Like, what can I do? And he was like, oh yeah, like we have them in the back. So he was also like a normal human being. Like he was older, but like he wasn't like
Mhm, like
weird.
creepy.
Yeah. He was just like my little work crush that I had. You know how you have those?
Yeah.
Not here, sorry.
Dude.
Okay, because all the men in the office are
Wait,
men.
no. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not here. But we went to the back, and he is getting me like a t-shirt from the top like shelf. Shut up, I don't like your eyebrows, Tristan. And he starts like getting it, whatever, and then our manager comes in and he's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like he's screaming at us.
Really?
And we were like, what? And I just was like a very like, tiny and like 17-year-old scared. And I was just like, oh, I spilled all this food on me. Like I need a new t-shirt. Like Jack was just helping me get it. And he was like, well, we sell those. Like you can't just take them.
Yep.
We don't sell them.
20
like
bucks.
we don't sell the t-shirts. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Guess I'll just be covered in food for the rest of the like I was like, okay, if you want me to greet people like this, then by all means. And I did. I worked that entire shift with food all over my shirt.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
What in the
And then-
world?
Like later down the line, he pulled me aside and he was like, hey, sorry for yelling at you earlier. Like, that's just how you have to get through to people here. And I don't know how I had the courage to say this because I don't have any courage at all. And I was just like, that's not how you get through to me. Like, yelling kind of shuts me down. So please don't do it. And he was like, okay. And I was like, "Dude." But yeah,
Good job, Rheagan.
I know. Working in.
Just stand up.
Dude. When I worked at Chuck E. Cheese,
I'm sorry.
Weren't you the
I was the
mouse?
best Chucky.
You were what?
No, but you were
The
the
best.
But you
Chucky.
you dressed up as Chucky.
Of course I did. Everybody did. And we did what we call road shows where you go around. Actually, this is pretty bad when I think about it. We all go around and you dance for tickets.
Are you like
But
you
I
dance
was-
for them?
Oh my gosh.
So
Bro,
you
to
do
kids?
that. You throw up. You throw up tickets everywhere. They rain
It's
down.
falling down.
That's
on
awesome.
Whoa.
So, but I was the best Chucky, and I worked in the kitchen as well. But two things come to mind. One, when you said the manager of the car, I did have my manager say, "Hey Tristan, I got this thing at Comic-Con. I gotta show it to you." And it was a miniature cowboy riding a dragon, and it was the coolest thing ever.
How did that remind you of that?
Mm.
That
I said,
car.
"Get in my Mustang."
Whoa.
He said, "Hey, come out to my car. I'm going to show you what I got."
Oh,
That
You
scene.
didn't say that first. You just said,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was creepy.
Well,
Interesting.
one day, he yelled at me so bad because I'm the worst. Me and authority, we don't go together. police, bosses. It's a whole thing. I
Police.
have grown.
You're like
Yeah,
the president.
There's a story there. So I have learned to tame myself and try to act like an adult. But when I wasn't, I was working at Chuck E. Cheese. I was 16, and I was in the kitchen. Well, the manager's office is right next to the kitchen. So I was in there sweeping, and I'll repent for this later, but I was singing.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. I get paid shit. I work all day, get nothing.
Did you make that up on the spot?
Yeah. So I was singing this song, and I was just very ungrateful and bitter. And my boss storms out of the office. Like, he comes out and he corners me. And he's like, if you don't like working here, you can leave. It's a choice. And I was like looking at the floor,
Singing.
like a little bit. And I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. But that was fully intentional antagonization. There
You're
you
one
go.
of those.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that song.
I
was
know.
great.
Can you record
Thank
it
you.
and like?
It is
download
recorded right now.
Well, I meant like
ringtone.
put some like beats behind it. I don't know why, but like my dad pushed a kid at Chuck E. Cheese, and like you telling that story,
Probably
relived it.
deserved it.
No, he did. This kid did because it was when I was a kid, and I was trying to do. I think I was trying to do one of the rides, and this kid had pushed me down, and like to get to the ride first. So my dad pushed this kid down and was like, "Wait your turn," and like
That's awesome.
picked me up
Probably
and set
deserved
me
it.
on the ride like a little princess. And I think
Aw.
that's why I am the way that I
you
am.
deserve.
I will say the kids are pretty nasty, and they would grab you by the nose when you have the Chucky suit on. They grab you by the nose, and they don't realize that your head will come off, like
And then they'll be
They'll
scarred
be
for life.
traumatized.
decapitated Chucky.
Oh man.
And so the only way to get around that is that you hip check them.
Oh.
You're just dancing, but you're actually
dancing,
like
and then
pushing
you're
them
just
over.
like, what?
Chuck them into oblivion. That's
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
I forget that you work at Chuck E.
Me
Cheese.
too.
I loved Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, but I was deathly afraid of the Chucky costume guy. Every time it came out, you'd find me under a table.
Well, did you know, like, you know, the animatronics at Chuck E.
They
Cheese?
took it away, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of that new movie, Five Nights at Freddy's. They were
Yeah.
like, everyone got too freaked out.
Oh.
So they took,
So-
and
sense.
because animatronics are like for the
it's
80s.
so creepy too.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
creepy.
not a
Creepy.
vibe. It's like,
No.
I'm like, I don't fuck with it. I'm like, you know,
What was that?
see how I had my filter on for
You
a second?
did.
And I was like, hang on, just say it.
No, me neither.
I'm like, ugh.
Positive work relationships.
Yeah, they're good.
Mhm.
They are good.
They're so good.
We're ready. We're so glad that we're done with those jobs, though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
okay, listen, I think everybody says this. Everyone needs to work retail or food at least once in their life to like truly understand what it's like to work, because like those jobs are like the worst to have. Like unless you love doing it and that's like your career, by all means.
Dealing with those people though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a
Yeah.
whole thing. And like it like you know, those are the jobs that you don't get holidays off. Like you're kind of forced to like I remember I was forced to
That's
work on
true.
Easter, and
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was like, why don't I get this off? And they're like, because people are coming in from church. And I'm like, what if I want to go to church? And they were
Yeah.
like, too bad. Same with Mother's Day and Father's Day. Like I was so butthurt. And I'm like, those even are the major holidays. Like not that Father or Mother and Father's Day is not important, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Having
so
to work through Valentine's Day or even Halloween.
yeah, like the fun holidays.
The fun
I'm-
holidays, yeah.
I'm like, I think it just,
Oh yeah.
you know, teaches you character. And I think it also is a thing where, you know how like when you're growing up and sometimes they would want you to put your kids in sports or like something where they have a different authority so they can be coachable.
Yeah.
That's, I think, so important. I think that will translate into how, like, what kind of employee you are, if that makes
Good
sense.
point.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
100%.
I don't know, because if you're an uncoachable kid, you know, like, you know, those kids that just like won't listen to the coach.
You're gonna think you're always right.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're not though. Like when you are freshly out of school, like whatever it may be, high school or college or whatever your path is, and you go to like a legit real deal job and you think you're better than everybody, you're not going to get far.
No.
Boom, knowledge on you. And I'm the youngest one here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're younger than Paige? Oh, we established
Yes,
that.
we've
we've
My bad.
been
This
knowing
thing.
this.
My bad.
They thought I was 22
That's
Whenever I got here,
That's
I'm
really
25.
I think that's a compliment. Yeah, even like when we were, and maybe it's just, I don't know, because I was like, oh, she's definitely younger than me. Like, finally, I have broken
Yeah.
this.
Really?
Because I've been the youngest
Yeah.
for 3 years. And I'm like, I need.
Yep. And
but
before
find-
you, I was the youngest.
Yeah. Well, because I remember we were like, oh, we're the young ones. And then it's just been growing ever since. And I'm like, coming to the.
And you said this is my last year
Of being
Sure,
the
last-
youngest.
being part of the young group. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
your
29.
last year. Yeah. I thought you meant
Oh,
mine.
yeah.
I was like, my last year. I was like, bitch.
29?
Yeah. When I turned 29, you
girl.
were like, it's your last year being young. I was like, oh, thanks,
Aw.
Rheagan.
I did.
You're the
it.
only not. Wait, no. You're not. You're not a Gen Z, right?
No, we're
I'm a
millennials.
millennial.
technically. And y'all are Gen Z, technically.
Slay.
Yeah.
Slay.
But we still get along. Unlike
True,
what social
yeah.
media says about millennials and Gen Zers.
Okay, boomer.
Aren't like Gen Z supposed to have those like little vape things? What are those called?
Jules?
Jewels. Yeah, where's your jewel?
I don't have
Not
one
here.
anymore.
That's good. That's good.
I went through
It's
that.
not a
I went
cute
through that
look.
phase. I went through that phase.
Sorry to anybody that smokes a jewel. It's just not a cute look.
I know all my
I feel
friends
like
are
it's
probably
not
like,
good for you, right?
Regardless.
It's
Yeah,
not.
regardless.
Yeah.
It's probably not a great habit.
Yeah.
No, here, I'll tell my little Jules story. Sorry, parents. I'm admitting this now, but y'all knew it. They knew I had
Y'all
it,
knew
but
it.
like they didn't know the extent of it. I had a community jewel in college.
Oh my gosh.
What does that mean?
So my
Sounds
like
I shared it.
like my 4 friends and I had one singular jewel, like the machine, and then we would go in on like the pods that you like plug in and like smoke it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, when COVID happened, I guess the jewel was mine. Like I had like it ended up coming to me, but I didn't have a charger with it, and I didn't have pods, and COVID happened, so I was at home. But this was like before it like shut down the world. You know, this was like the first like literally the first week of COVID. I'm not kidding. Like I went home for spring break, and then it was COVID.
Yeah.
And I was with they had raised the nicotine rates to 21, and I was 20. And I was with my friend Jamie, and she was 21. And I was like, hey, go to the gas station. Like, let's go to the gas station. And I was like, let's see if you can get me just a charger and pods. I don't need a new jewel. I just need the pods and the charger. No new jewel. Got it? And she was like, got it. She comes back out with a full-on starter kit, like brand new jewel, brand new charger, like 6 of the pods. She was like, here you go, $50. I'm like, well, now I got to give it to you. Like, what am I going to do? Make you return it? I was like, all right. So then I was stuck inside with this jewel. What else are you going to do with it? And
During COVID?
Sell it.
well, it broke. And then I got a new one, and then that one broke, and then I got onto the vapes, and then I got over it. So, yeah.
It's good.
I'm glad you broke that habit.
Thank you. I broke it because I started working here. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, I can't. Like, I have a big girl job now. I can't just be hitting the
Can't be.
puff
Yeah, it's
bar.
not college anymore.
Hitting the
Yeah.
pump.
That's funny.
So
the corner.
I mean, it was a slow process, you guys. Don't think I'm like crazy. If I have some alcohol, I'll be like, can I hit that?
Can I hit that?
And my friends are like, shut up, just buy one. I'm like, no. I'm not addicted though. Hi, mom and dad. Sorry. My mom listens to this. She's going to be like, you were hitting it in my house. I'll be like, yeah, sorry.
Shout out to Rheagan's
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah, y'all have all met her. Y'all have met all of my parents.
I don't think I've
I
met
haven't
her.
met your mom.
You haven't?
No.
No,
You've met
Roy.
No,
Oh.
he didn't come to the Christmas party.
Yeah, she came to the Christmas party.
Oh, she did?
I
Yeah,
missed
it's
out
a
so much.
Yeah.
murder mystery.
Yeah,
she was so
because
cool.
the first Christmas party for here, like everybody was bringing people, obviously, because y'all are all married, and I was the only one who was like single, and I was like, I can't go to this thing alone. Like, I didn't know y'all very well. Like, I'd been there for 7 months, but like it was still like I can't be in a social setting yet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember being like, Tiffany, can I please bring my mom?
Oh.
And she was like, of course. And I was like, Mom, do you want to come to this? And she did. And I was like, thank God my mom is here. And
Oh.
now I can hang out with y'all without anybody. But at first I was like, I need my mom, like, for real. Because I'm like, who am I going to bring? My friend who y'all are going to be like, who is this? Like,
Gwyneth.
my sister? That's my sister.
Did you say that name randomly, or did you know?
I know that's her sister.
She talks about her.
I
She's
do.
Like, my
Hey,
sister Gwyneth.
We know
And
all
I was
about
like,
you, Gwyneth.
Gwyneth.
Yeah.
She doesn't listen to this. She told me, she was like, I can't listen.
Oh,
What?
that's not cool.
Well, I'm saying this because she said it herself. So if she's like, to Jennifer, Dad, Reese, whoever else is listening to this, Gwyneth was like, I love you, but I will never listen because I have such a short attention span. Like she doesn't even watch movies. Like
Really?
she can
I
like
see.
only watch like TikToks. Like that's
How
how
old is she?
It's a deal breaker.
she's 20.
That's like a thing.
A deal breaker.
No, that's,
deal breaker.
that's
For
good.
what?
Sorry.
That's good. I'm glad you're not
Just throwing it
interested.
out there.
Just as like I'm trying to be relatable, you guys. I'm sorry.
No,
Stop
I feel
bullying
like
my sister.
It's like a
Tristan.
thing
Sorry,
now
Gwyneth.
with people her age. Like they can't. Their attention spans are getting.
Well,
shorter.
my-
Hey, I don't think that's true though.
You don't?
I have a theory.
Okay, what's your theory?
Here's the deal. People watch like hour and a half long vlogs on YouTube
I think it
that
depends.
are like Gen Zs.
I think it depends on the content.
And they listen to us talk about
Maybe.
a whole lot of nothing for an hour and a half. You know,
we
like,
haven't even been talking for an hour yet.
Wow.
Really?
Well, see, like
Yeah.
they want to listen to people talk. They want to watch people study. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so.
guess that's true.
I just think the scrolling.
Oh, in the video game
Someone-
world too, like people just watching people playing video games.
Yeah, people watching
Oh, the
people play video
streaming.
games.
Yeah, that's like a
That's
big
weird
thing
to
in
me.
like this like 12 to 22 age range, I think.
And people are making money from that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
my
The-
brother just started
What are
doing
they?
it.
What are they called?
Like streamers.
Streamers?
Yeah.
No, but like, what's the thing? Like
Twitch?
dismount Twitch.
Twitch,
that's
what
Twitch.
I have a
it
friend that
is.
does that. Actually.
Yeah, my brother just started and he's already making money.
Dude,
He started like 2 weeks ago.
we're in
Crazy.
the wrong industry.
I know. I'm like, we need to be
Probably.
gamers.
I don't know if
More
it's.
than
I'm
that.
sure it's been more than 2 weeks. I'm just.
I mean,
But
if you're
still.
making money,
Mm,
like
Yeah.
Mhm.
how?
I don't know how much he's making. I'm actually supposed to call him after this, but
Well, then you figure that out.
I
Let
will.
me know,
I'll
and
let you
if
know.
anybody asks me, I will make sure that I can tell you.
you bought a video game, didn't you?
Probably.
Didn't you buy a Switch or something?
I didn't buy it. That was when
Mm.
I was going through my little manifestation week. Y'all, I gotta talk about that real quick. So, back in, I remember it was
Thank
March.
you, Grandma.
I know it was March,
right.
and I was just like saying things, and they were coming true. Like I was like, my crush will text me, and he did. He's not my crush anymore though. And then it was like, I want to switch. I went home with one. That was when I got those. I got
Mhm.
like crazy off the crack tea and bought
Mhm.
those Michael Longfellow tickets, and I was like, I'm gonna meet
That
Michael
was a
Longfellow.
bad day.
That was not a bad day.
You were cracked out.
I mean, off of
Oh,
tea,
yeah,
off
you
of
were.
tea.
You were all over the place.
On
Yeah,
Africa.
there's this place called something nutrition. I don't know. It's like one of those like what's that?
It's like a Herbalife shop.
Yeah, thank you. And they make like meal replacement shakes, and then it goes along with this like caffeinated tea. And I always get the like energy boost because I'm like I want to feel something. And I got it at lunch, and I came back, and that was when I sat in the corner,
Mhm.
and y'all could just like see my head like
Mhm.
going up and down. And they're like, "What's going on back there?" I'm like, "I am having the time of my life. I want to run a marathon. I'm gonna spin in the chair," and I was going crazy.
I remember you
Cracked out.
screamed, "I'm being so productive."
I was like,
It's like, what's going
You're like,
on
is
with
she
Rheagan?
good? And I'm like, I got this also the day I got my hand stuck in that ball that we had.
Oh
What?
yeah, the ball.
I was not here for any of this.
It's probably a good thing. Why weren't you here?
I wasn't
Was
working
that
here.
before? Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was like March.
You got your
we
hand
had
stuck
this
in a
like,
ball?
you know that connected ball thing that we had?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Oh.
the metal one.
No, not the
No,
metal
the
one.
white and black one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I stuck my hand in there, and I was just like, "Look at me, guys! I got I got my hand in this." And then I had to I had to because it was like you could break it apart and whatever, but I didn't want to do that, and got it stuck, and I had to like maneuver my hand on the way out of there. That was when I was going crazy. It was fun though.
man.
Don't act like y'all didn't enjoy that.
No, it
little
was
reality
hilarious.
show.
You should get more.
Crack teas.
Mhm.
I
Why'd
tried
you
to-
stop?
Probably
Because
not
it's
good for
crack.
you.
I'm just kidding. One, they're expensive.
Mm.
You know what? I'll probably get one while I'm doing this like 75 hard thing, because they're not like bad for you. It's just that it's that tea
Right.
with that boost. And
Yeah,
if you
you-
do it on
caffeine
an
amount.
if you do it on an empty stomach, you
I
know.
I bet.
Yeah.
Like yesterday when I got Starbucks, I hadn't had Starbucks in forever, and that got me zooming.
Yeah.
Like I was like shaking with like all day with like caffeine, and I was like, I've been drinking like Celsius and Alani News and like all day, but the coffee I drank in like an hour, and I'm sure it was like, you know, I don't know how much caffeine was in it, but I was like,
How was that?
Sorry for making that
That was
noise.
great. Good timing. That was
But
awesome.
yeah,
Oh, special
That's
gal.
yeah, Rheagan bouncing off the walls was a good time.
I thought it was hilarious. I was thoroughly entertained.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Speaking of that, good little segue. All my friends have been like, "What is Rheagan like? We can't picture you in a at a job, like at a work environment, like where you're working like 9 to 5. Like, how do you, like, how are you in that situation?" And I always tell them, I'm like, "I'm great, actually. Shut up. Like, I'm professional and I'm this and I'm that." Ooh, I have a funny story. Don't let me. I'm gonna write that down
Uh-oh.
so I don't forget it. I have funny story.
She is the
No.
Devil's Wears Prada at
No,
work.
yeah, no, stop.
Comes
So,
in straight in Hathaway style.
well, okay.
High red heels.
I want y'all's, because mine is clearly biased.
Mhm.
So please tell me your unbiased answer of what it's truly like having Rheagan Chapman as a coworker.
I'm first.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like we've been talking so much.
It's fun. She always has stories.
Mm.
Yeah, we didn't ask for those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Thank you,
But
Paige.
she is professional too. Like, she turns on her professional, and she always says she's very filtered at work. She has her work filter on, and she is. There was one time when she slipped up.
But it was just
Luckily,
it was just Paige and I in the office. Y'all, I literally turned around. It was like, I don't know. I was like typing and I just go, "Fuck!"
I was like,
You're like,
And
Did
then
I just, like-
and I know Tiffany hates that word. And I
Yeah.
like slowly like
you're like,
she hates the first time. Like, the first week I met Tiffany, she was like, "There's one thing you need to know about me. I do not like the F word." So I was like, never using it.
how'd this
Yeah.
get brought up?
What?
I think
How'd she
I don't
bring that
know.
up?
she just did.
She told me that
Huh.
too. But I said that and I was like, "Is Tiffany here? Is Tiffany here?" And she wasn't. I was like, "Thank God."
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah. But yeah, she's very professional, gets her work done, she's like the life of the office. Whenever she's gone, we're all like, "Why is it so boring today?"
I will say that's 100% true. When
Really?
you're on
Uh-huh.
vacation and we try to have fun, and it's like not the same.
It's not.
Yeah, it's
Oh
not.
my
We went
gosh.
to lunch with Paige.
Ah!
Was that
Wow. You know, I didn't have fun either, so
It's because you were there, Tristan. Yeah, I think Rheagan, you have your moments of like when you're professional, and then when you're just fun, and then you're funly professional or professionally fun.
yeah.
So yeah, I think you get your work done, and you help us with a lot of stuff. Man,
Yeah.
I would say when y'all two came along, you two, Mr. Tristan, I think working here has been really fun and productive, and it feels good to like accomplish things with y'all.
Aw.
So
Aw,
yeah, y'all do good.
guys.
And since we're talking specifically about Rheagan,
Sorry.
I think you do really good. And like the support side of things with you, I know I'm the tech guy, and y'all, come to me for everything. And I do it with such a great attitude.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
Even when I don't want to. I'm kidding. Like you're generally super helpful. So, and I do
That's
nice.
like working with you.
Thank you.
Well, I have to say that I love Rheagan,
But sometimes he hates me.
but I hate her.
Wow.
I mean,
I got that message
some
today.
days, like literally
chewed her
some
out today.
days,
Mm-hmm.
I just like want to go over to her chair and grab her by the face and like give her a big hug. And then some
I
days,
didn't know where you're going.
I
with
know.
that.
I was like, he's either gonna. I was like, this could go either
Bash her
way.
into the keyboard.
I was leading y'all into. Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, some days I just want to be like, you get me, you understand me, I'm gonna hug you. And then some days I'm like, what literally in the heck are you thinking?
Yeah. Sometimes I don't have my smart hat on, and I just am like, and then I'll be like, you know what? I don't know what I was thinking. I just did it.
But I will say, Rheagan is super coachable.
Yes. 100%.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
And I am probably the most confusing person ever to try to explain
Oh,
anything.
1,000%.
Oh yeah.
1,000%.
Most of the time when Tristan's like, she drives me crazy, it's because he didn't give me the right
literally because of
guidance.
me. It's because of me.
Yeah.
And
100%.
so sometimes, like, for her to be able to understand the chaos that's going on in my head, and for her to be like, "Oh yeah, I think I know what you want," and then she like delivers it. I literally told her the other day, who as I said, I was like, "You are my like
I'm
so
like-
and so to my Regina."
I thought you said like you're
Mean
Edward
Girls.
Cullen because I can read your mind.
No, it was,
It was Mean Girls?
We're like best friends from Mean
Yeah.
Girls, you know, like
Um,
get
I'm like,
me.
are there any
Gretchen?
Gretchen and
Gretchen.
Regina?
Gretchen to Regina.
I think I'm more Regina.
Yeah, I have no clue
Okay.
what y'all are talking about.
That's okay. No, I appreciate it. I remember.
Gretchen.
Yes, I'm remembering this conversation now. But I'm like in Tristan's mind sometimes because I'm like, you give the most vague comments, and I'm like, okay.
He does.
I
sometimes.
literally don't.
Or he'll be like, download the PDF. I'm like, what PDF? You didn't send it. He's like, oh, my bad.
I've never really worked with you, Tristan. Mostly
That's
just
probably
David, and
good.
David's guidance is amazing.
It's a good thing.
Tells
Well,
me exactly what he needs. And I'm like,
that's
perfect.
that's what we were just talking about like last week when Tristan was like struggling with what he was getting, and I was just like, let me look at what you're producing.
Maybe you're the problem.
And then like I was like, I don't want to be, and I preface it as like, dude, I don't mean to be like rude or joking when I'm saying like maybe you're the problem, but like maybe you are the problem. And let me look at what you're creating, not because you like maybe you just don't know. Sometimes I don't know, and the biggest thing that I was talking to him was like, I'm open to being wrong here. Let me look at what you wrote. And I read it and I was like, dude, this is garbage. It's like, you're getting garbage back because this is garbage.
It's me. Hi.
I'm
I'm
the
So-
problem. It's
But
me.
But
To
not in a bad
summarize,
way. Not that
Reagan
it
is
was-
perfect.
She's
Rheagan
great.
is
No.
perfect. Yeah.
No.
No, I
Delightful.
wouldn't say she's perfect.
Like, she's got her flaws.
She's a valuable.
Asset.
I
Asset.
meant to say valuable, but I started with that with an F.
Fallible?
Valuable-
Is that
fallible
even,
asset.
what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is it even a word?
Yeah, let's just cut that.
It
Yeah,
means
valuable.
capable of making mistakes.
Oh, that.
Or being, what it's like when
That
you were
too.
like, I'm feeling aloof today, and Mark was like, what? He was like, do you know the definition of aloof?
Well, I think that I was still using that word correctly. I think it was just people were surprised that
Because
I
it's a
meant-
negative word.
Well, it means it's an adjective, not friendly, forthcoming, cool, and distant. But like I felt
Cool.
distant
Oh.
and
Sounds like-
cool. Same
Sounds
time,
like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of aloof. I think that the initial definition is probably what came to mind when it's like not friendly. Like I don't think I've ever been not friendly to people, but it was just the cool and distant. I remember having like a weird weekend that weekend, and I did truly feel that way. Not unfriendly, just distant.
That,
Okay.
that's
And I do
one
like
thing.
that word, aloof.
We should start using that more.
Yeah, aloof.
When
I-
do you decide to be honest about your word for the week? When you're like,
Oh yeah, when we
this
go
is
around.
how I really feel.
Uh-huh.
I'm always honest with
Yeah,
mine.
Me
same.
too.
Are you not?
Actually, no, I'm not.
No.
I just come up with something on the spot.
I'm always
You're supposed
like,
to be honest. It's
I'm
like, how do you
trying.
feel in that moment?
One
try.
time I used a word that was like really weird, or maybe it was my gratitude for the day or the week, because this was in the summer of 22, and I had felt. Fun fact: I think, and I've told y'all about
I
this.
remember you
When
telling us
my
that, yeah.
anxiety was really bad, I would dry heave every morning. And like at 4 a.m., like on the dot, I was waking up and I was like dry heaving. It was not a good time in my life. I didn't realize there was anything wrong with me. I just thought that this was life. I was like, everybody does this.
Can't be
And
positive.
I'm like, it can't just be me. And I had stopped, like, I think I had finally like had gotten control over it or calmed down, or I don't know. It just stopped. And I remember I was like, hey, everybody, like, I just feel like I'm very grateful to be like in control. I'm like, this sounds weird, but like in control of my body. And they were like, okay. I'm like, why did you just, that's the thing of oversharing that I do quite often.
Yeah.
And then we like, went on with the meeting, went on with our day. And then that day I went home and I was running a 101 degree fever.
Yeah.
And I was actually supposed to go on a date that night.
Oh.
And I was like, this is me admitting something funny too. I was like, gonna go on this date. I was like, if I don't go on this date, I will never see this guy ever again. And then he canceled on me. So
It's for the best.
guess what he canceled on me to do though?
Go on
Video
another
games?
date?
To go to the gym.
Oh.
Oh,
Interesting.
I get that.
And then
No.
Oh no.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, I remember you telling us this.
you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah. And then I still
Wait, y'all know him?
I know I still gave him a
No.
time. Yes, you do. No names. Do not say any names.
We know him.
You don't know him like in person, but
Depressed.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the one that looks like me, right?
No, that's not my boyfriend. That's my like very bestie or my old bestie, Will Bodner.
Mm.
I hope he listens to this. Will, if you're listening to this, this is your doppelganger. Like to the T personality and like face.
I literally do the eyebrow thing.
Yeah, and so does he. Well, he did. I haven't seen him in like 2 years. Miss you.
Hearts. Miss you too.
But
Would you date him?
Stop sucking.
Oh.
No. Sorry, Will.
Call Rheagan.
To be friends. But yeah, I don't know where I was
Yeah.
going. I know I had a point with that.
I will
Oh,
say. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know because I just started talking and I can't remember what.
I
so
will say
you
we
go.
didn't really get to know you from like a deep level, and I'm like one of those people that dives in too deep too fast, and then people are like, "Man, what a freak!" It's like, I can't help it.
I'm like now I'm just like
Yeah,
full.
overshare.
I'm so
in the beginning.
sensitive.
Dear diary.
Yeah, dear diary.
I love
And-
oversharing. I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's interesting. I was just thinking about that too. It's like you're right. Kind of like with the Christmas party, you said you've been here 7 months and you still didn't feel like comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you started what like 3-4 months ago,
Yeah,
and
she
you're like
No.
kind of
me
already.
already.
Like July? Wait.
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah,
July.
like mid-July.
Because it was like the week of your
Um,
birthday.
August,
Dang.
September, October.
Man,
Yeah, it was like
January.
really close to your birthday.
Like almost 7 months.
Yeah. So
What?
and you're kind of like already part of the
Dang.
fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't do this a lot. Like at
No,
first,
we
like
didn't.
when I started.
We go to lunch a lot.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Megan.
We didn't really before.
Really?
My budget suffers.
Yeah, that's true.
Megan's like, oh, of course he does. I see it on the
Yeah.
credit card.
I knew it.
And it's not my fault. I can't be blamed for any of it.
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think you came out with your first podcast or maybe the second one, and you talked a lot about like the mental health stuff and
Mhm.
that season of your life. And I remember listening to it and I was like, oh, like this is like, I started seeing you in a lot different way because I
Mhm.
was like, oh, there's like this whole side of Rheagan we didn't know about. And it's like,
She's like, she's mentally unstable. I'm just kidding. I'm just
like,
kidding.
oh, you know, like I thought she just talked about her dog and
Speaking
What
of
about the dog?
Speaking of my dog, you guys, this was what my funny story was about. One time, back in the summer of 22, I went to Port Aransas. I did my weekly. I wish I did my yearly like Port Aransas trip. And the night before, my dog Bella, who I've talked about here before, she got really sick the night before I left. And I was driving to Georgetown to drop her off with my mom for her to watch her anyway. And we go to Port Aransas. All my friends who like stayed the night with me that night and rode down with me, they were all convinced that we were going to come back from Port A and Bella was going to be dead. Like,
What?
that's just like how... And me, I literally was like, she's fine. This is just
She
who
is
she is.
old.
Like, she's just whatever, you know? It didn't even cross my mind that she was going to die. Like, because she just had like really bad runs. Like, she just had the runs. And then she started bleeding and we were like,
no.
oh, so that's what made her think that. But anyway, we come back. Bella's totally fine. Obviously, she still is. She's still kicking. And my mom was like, we took her to the vet and we had to take her to a new vet because the original vet was like closed or something. And the new vet was like examining Bella and was like, she's got an impressive vulva. And my mom was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, impressive? And I go back to work that Monday. I was like, y'all will never believe what the vet told me. And I'd say it, and Mark is like,
Well, you also like showed a picture.
oh yeah. I was like, look, but like you can't see Bella's vulva
I
from like
remember
her
that.
stomach. And he was like, don't show me that. And I was like, dude, you can't see anything. It's just her stomach. But
discretion.
He's
right
still
I know.
he's still is scarred from that.
no,
Talk
literally
about it.
today
Yeah.
I showed him like my Bella blanket that I have upstairs, and he was like, I'm glad that that's special for you. And I was like, do you want one? He was like, no. I was like, I have a pair of Bella socks you can have too.
Oh my god.
I was like, it's just a like, I don't know. There's something about oversharing that I just really like to do. And then I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. But then I'm like, bleh, like whatever. I'm going to put it on the internet anyway. I'm like, who cares?
We're all going to be on the internet.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, on the internet, yeah.
Oh, I'm scared.
Don't be. It's totally
Oh, no,
fine.
I think my camera died.
It's fine.
Bye-bye.
Still have your phone.
She died.
Yeah, speaking of, just so y'all can see, Tristan and Paige are both like videographers, like on the side. So we've got like the real deal like camera setup, and
Well.
we got the real. Well, not anymore because her camera just died.
We
Paige,
saw the phone.
I borrow people's tripods and stuff. I don't have my own yet.
yeah,
I did criticize.
yeah,
Paige
you were like,
did.
what?
Totally did.
Sorry, I'm poor.
I was like, I was like, you're a videographer. You don't own a tripod.
As soon as he said that, I told him to shut up.
I think I hurt her feelings. She had a rough night last night.
I did have a rough night.
But-
Dog.
I don't know. I don't know if Paige is gonna want to work with me because she saw how obsessive I was about setting up her camera.
I
and
know.
almost
I was
broke it
like,
3
oh my
times.
gosh.
He's like, Paige was
I'll
like,
leave you
Tristan,
alone.
it's fine. Like we should get started. Like we started at 6, so we've been
Yeah.
talking a little over an hour, which is fine. But it took us an hour to get this set up, and it was mainly just Tristan moving like every tiny little thing that you
And
can
I get
imagine.
it. I get
no,
it.
it's not a bad thing. It's just funny because we were like, okay, because I booked it, and I was like, we'll be out of here. Like it'll only take an hour, and it took up basically the entire time to
Yeah.
like do it. But
To get it set up.
bestie Peggy was like, stay as long as you need, and I was like,
Team
Yeah.
Peggy, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah.
Peggy
Baller.
now.
were you not?
No, wait. I've always been, but
Okay.
now I'm more so.
More Team Peggy.
Yeah.
Well, she was like, do you want to interview me? And I was like, yeah, girl, come
Yes.
on.
Wait, that would be
Go.
so
Make some
funny.
TikToks.
That would be funny.
And she was in the military, so like she's got.
was?
No way. I
yeah.
had no clue.
You didn't know that? Someone. Okay,
We don't
she
know anything about her. She needs to be on.
She didn't tell me that, but somebody told me that.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
take it with a grain of salt. I can be a liar sometimes, so I don't know.
Have you lied to us?
Definitely.
What's something that you told us that wasn't true that we know is true?
I don't know.
I got another question.
What?
What's something that you'd want to say to us that you've never said?
Oh, I
Oh.
love this.
Like,
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty straightforward.
you are pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean, sometimes I'm kinder with my words,
Mm.
you know, but I'm never like,
Do you actually think I'm gay?
no.
Wow.
I'm like,
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Have a wife.
I'm like, I don't, considering your wife is pregnant. But I guess that doesn't matter. You could be,
Surprise.
but if you are, that's okay. I'll still be your friend.
Thank you.
You're
That
welcome.
deserves an applause.
Oh,
I don't know which button that is. Though.
Yeah,
Oh, that was pretty
that's a
good.
good one.
Mm.
Yeah, there's no
got
applause
it.
here.
There was an applause. Maybe, is
Maybe
it
it's
the
the last
bottom
one.
two?
No, this one didn't have
Oh,
one.
weird.
Wow.
That's
I could have
weird.
sworn there was one that
I
was
thought it
applause.
was. I thought there was one too, but
Do the
maybe
rock.
we thought it was
No.
that one. I don't know.
That's so
Huh.
weird.
I
Everyone's
could
like-
have sworn there was an applause.
Yeah.
No,
Hmm.
I don't
Oh,
think
well.
so.
Next time.
Maybe.
Next time.
Mm.
I'm like, I love this studio. I'm like, maybe I'll just record here from now on
Yeah.
Awesome.
because it's so nice.
It is.
Yeah,
I
the
feel like-
Makes
microphones
it
are
feel
great.
official.
I know. I feel professional.
Yeah, you have your
The
sound
soundboard.
panels. You got acoustic panels in here.
Yeah.
What if we ever met your friends?
They all know who you are. Like,
Yeah.
Like-
We know some of their we know some of the names.
you know, Allison.
we know of Allison.
You know
Yeah.
of Allison. She knows you. I think today. No, it wasn't today. It was one time. I think you asked me to do something, Tristan, and I texted her because I text her all the time.
Mm.
And I was like, I have to do this because Tristan, or no, I didn't say your name because then she was like, is Tristan making you do this? And I was like, yeah,
Oh
like,
my
You're the bad
gosh.
guy.
no, not
Wow.
like that. Like, and she'll, like, she didn't meet you the day you fixed our washer and dryer because she was,
That was your old roommate, right?
yeah, she got back from her first day of PT school and she had taken like anatomy, like so she'd cut up a human body for the first time and she was
Yeah.
like, I can't see the light of day
Yeah.
forever. So she was like
fair.
severely traumatized because I was like, you need to come out and like meet David, and she was like, I can't. She was like, not today, and I was like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember doing that in college.
Yeah.
They brought out cadavers
Yep.
and cutting up like actual dead people.
No.
Yeah, she
It
did
was-
that.
It was weird.
Think about that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I would have it like they're like me.
We should all go out.
Should do it.
I'm like, hey, my coworkers
Karaoke.
want to meet y'all.
Can I bring the kids?
Sure. when I become a trivia host,
Yes,
Ooh,
yes,
that's
yes.
what we should
I'm
do.
gonna
Yeah.
bring my friends out.
yeah,
That'd be
and
I
have
already
like
told
a
him
big
about it.
party, and y'all have to break up in teams, so
Yeah.
there's like
That'd be
multiple
fun.
teams playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact, everybody, if you are an avid listener and you're like, I would love to meet Rheagan, like half the people who are listening to this haven't met me. I am becoming a trivia host. I have no idea when or where, but I got that gig. I literally was like, let me be a trivia host. And they were like, sure. And I was like, thank you. I went on like a
You're a
call with
good
them
host.
and they were like, so tell me about yourself. And I was like, I'm Rheagan. I work here. I live in Dallas. I'm 24 and I have a podcast. And they were like, you're perfect. And I was like, this was the most easy like hiring process I've ever been through. Thank you. And they were like, we'll call you probably like it's mid-January. They're like early February because they're trying to get more locations. And I was like, you just let me know, babe, and I'll be there as long as it's not on Thursdays because that's when I play trivia.
And you.
And me being a host for the same company doesn't affect me playing the game. They're like, there's different games every night. So
Nice.
Nice.
I'm like,
You
there
get
might be
paid?
some overlap questions, but
Get paid?
yeah, $50 a game.
Nice.
Not bad.
That
That
goes
goes
Yeah.
for
for-
your drinks.
Not bad at all.
Let's go.
Yeah, and usually they were like, depending on like the bar you're like assigned to, the bartenders might like give you free stuff or yeah.
Nice.
And I'm like, well, I'm sober right now, so
75
For
hours.
the next
75 hours.
75 days, you're sober.
for the next 70 days, let's.
Well, let me ask a question. Sober, does that just mean you're not drinking to get drunk, or you're just
Just
not
not-
drinking?
I'm just
at
not
all?
drinking
Sober
at
means
all.
no
75
alcohol.
hard, bro.
I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah,
We
no
live
alcohol.
75
I
hard.
grew up on like
Isn't
Weight
that what sober
Watchers. That was it.
means? Sober means like no alcohol.
Yeah,
Yep.
no alcohol.
I thought it just meant like
No,
you know, you're not drunk.
That it could mean that too, but no, I'm trying to see if like, because I've always said like I'm sure like alcohol does all this stuff to your body because it does. Like you know that's not
Yeah.
a secret.
Basically
But I'm
poison.
like, how much of a difference like would it truly make if you like cut it out altogether, like all
That's a lot.
together? And I'm like, if it makes me skinny, by all means, I will do it. But if I don't feel any different, give me a bottle of wine.
Is that what you were drinking like a day, like a bottle of?
No. Well, no. But I used to like when I first like turned 21, and then when I first like got my real big girl apartment, and I was like making dinner, I would just open like a bottle like of wine, and
Right.
I would drink it with Allison, or like friends would come over, and I was just like, you know, not getting drunk every night, but like drinking, not you know, pretty frequently. And I was just like, and then I moved into an apartment by myself, and then it was like my first weekend like in my new apartment, and I was like, I'm gonna make myself dinner and I'm gonna stay in, I'm gonna get some wine, whatever. And I got drunk on accident. And when
Nice.
you get drunk on accident and you're alone, it just is this
It's just
different kind
sad.
of like low. Because no, I started crying because I was like, all my friends were out, not because they left me out, because I chose to stay in. Like that wasn't their fault. I wasn't mad, but I was like, I haven't talked in like 4 hours. Like I haven't said a word,
Just thinking.
and I'm like, I can't be left alone with my thoughts for too long. Like it does. Like when I was
Yeah.
sick over the New Year's, I was alone for 5 days, like truly alone until I came back to work, and I was like, I got to be around somebody. Somebody with a beating heart needs to like listen to my thoughts because I can't do this. Like, so being truly alone is actually kind of hard.
I relate. I relate to that.
You can relate.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
something about being like by yourself. But sometimes it's comforting. Like I like being alone during like the weekdays because I can get like my routine in. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, like I've got my routine down. I don't need anybody interrupting it. But then like on the weekends when like I don't make plans, I'm like,
Yeah. It's different.
Like what can I do?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But
Sorry, you went through that.
it's okay. I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do better next time.
Yeah, I will. Just do better. That's like my mom always said. We've been winning at trivia for too long. Like this is just a side story. We lost last night, so we lost on like a 4-week winning streak. And Emma was like, we need to lose on purpose. Like people are gonna get mad at us. I was like, why are people gonna get mad at us? We're winning.
Yeah.
Like she was like, because we get like a gift card to the bar, and like the host is our friend, and the bartender's our friend, like all that. And she was like, people are gonna get mad. I'm like, no, they're not. And I was texting my mom, and I was like, Mom, Emma wants to lose on purpose. Like, this is crazy. And my mom was like, what the fuck? She was like, absolutely not. We don't do that. Just tell the other people to be better. And I was like, all right.
Oh,
Literally.
heck yeah.
And I was like, see what my mom said, Emma? We have to do it now. It was funny though.
That's my motto: is do better.
Yeah, just do
You
better.
do say that every
You
single day.
should get better
I do.
SIM card. And
Mostly to Tristan.
Paige has been exposed. Because I know what you did.
It wasn't me.
What'd you do?
So her.
I know David. David's a snitch.
I know. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him. You just did.
So this is part of the dark humor in our office. I was actually with a
David
group
did
of
tell me what
friends.
to write though. So
Oh, absolutely. I was involved.
Wow. So you really don't care.
no, I was gonna write you a little like something in your planner because it was just wide open. I was like, perfect. And then he was like, write do better.
It's like you suck. So I was with some friends of mine, and we're supposed to be having a serious conversation, like men talk about like what's actually going on in life, so you don't feel alone. And it just so happened, and this is the problem with me having dark humor too, that the do better thing got brought up. And I was like, I was with my coworker, and I was bearing my soul to him and telling him like how I really feel in life right now, and he was like, man, like that just, you know what that makes me think? And I was like, what? He's like, you should do better.
He's like, you gotta stop.
And then the next day, Paige wrote that in my journal. So I showed all the guys. I was like,
I didn't know that.
get better soon card. Like,
Don't forget how you were like looking at like I have
All
like
of our
sticky notes on my monitor like of like
I
just
just walked
reminders
over
to
to
do,
Rheagan's
and he's
desk.
like walking over there, and I had Blaze, and I was like, oh Tristan, are you cold? And he was like, no. And I'm like, then what are you doing staring? Because I was sitting on the couch like I wasn't at my desk.
don't worry about it.
And then you were like, I was like, are you checking my fucking handwriting because of the do better thing? And I was like, it wasn't me.
How'd you know it was me?
I think you just
No, he's been saying that it was me.
Okay. So I went over to her desk too,
but she didn't have anything.
and I took her planner.
I didn't use the same handwriting.
It's definitely the same, and I can prove it. I could side by side.
Did you do that?
I did not do that. But I walked over there and I opened up your planner, and I was like, it hurt.
Wow, that's kind of an invasion of privacy.
Just be honest and repent.
That's the
You'll be
gist.
forgiven.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say, not for so your listeners don't think I'm heartless. Tristan needed to hear that
You're
in that
definitely
moment.
heartless.
Yeah, sometimes that needs
That's
to
what
be
I told the
said.
guys. I said, honestly, sometimes you need someone to tell you, stop being a bitch.
Period.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure that's also what I said after Do Better.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
Yeah.
Alright.
There is a time, especially I think men can complain.
Yes.
And honestly, women can too. Let me just say, people, humans in general, we can get so far caught up in complaining that you just need to realize, oh, I am actually in control of this situation and I can do something about it.
That is totally true,
Right.
David.
Now, when it's something outside of your control,
Different.
yeah, it's
Right.
different. Give it to the Lord. That's what I
Yeah.
say.
So true.
Well, with all that being said, we've been talking for a while.
We have.
Before we
it.
close out, is there any like parting words, any last thing that you want to get off your chest? Say it. Wait, what is it? Yes, and say that shit with your chest. It's a new Ariana Grande
Say it
song.
with your chest.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't-
never mind.
Yeah, say it with your chest.
Kevin
Like,
Hart thing.
Not Kevin Hart.
no,
Never
but
mind. I don't know anything about Ariana Grande, whatever, however you
It's
say
okay.
her name.
anything. No,
I don't think so.
like the pause is a little too long.
Yeah, like get
Yeah.
some good work relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep them real, but keep them positive.
yeah. I mean,
and,
listen to us. Just strive for this.
yeah, you know what? You don't have to just be work and home. You can enjoy your life and have good relationships. And me and David have become really good friends. I still hate Rheagan. But
Okay.
I don't
feel
know.
like-
I hate you
I
too,
feel like
Tristan.
he's still like iffy about me. He doesn't know yet.
I mean,
Yeah.
he says we're friends, but he called me his coworker to his buddies.
I think he called you his work wife. Dude.
I hope not.
definitely.
He definitely did.
Paige is still out. We're gonna think about that. But if you have other coworkers like David,
You know what, Paige?
Great.
Write an article for Tristan and then get back to me. That will determine if y'all like each other
Or
if y'all are
before you
friends.
write an article for him, check his instructions. And if there's anything missing, ask him.
Let me know and I'll
Yeah.
give you the proper instructions. I'm
You
just
won't
kidding.
know.
You won't know.
I'm kidding. But I want to thank all of y'all for coming on and doing this with me.
It was
Thank
so
you for
fun.
letting us.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
Yeah,
us.
I think this was like one of my favorite episodes that I've done.
Yeah.
I feel like the
Awesome.
conversation was good,
I
flowing.
can't wait till the next one.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous about like 4 people, but I feel like we did a pretty good job. No one talked over each other too much, and we were able to keep it, too like not too off topic or anything. It was a little bit longer than the usual episodes, but that's given because there's more of us. So, with all that being said, I hope you'll have a good rest of your night.
I hope
Yeah.
you
I was
do.
Talking to
too.
you guys,
y'all.
I don't know.
Oh, they're talking to your fans.
No,
Oh.
they will be getting this on a Wednesday morning. So,
Have a good Wednesday.
yeah,
I think it was
Happy
cool.
happy Wednesday.
Oh, thank
no,
you.
yeah.
Thank you for having us.
No, what were you saying?
Oh, it was just cool because it's like, just felt like we were having lunch.
Yeah.
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 the-
Yeah,
Sure.
and stay
We were
tuned
just
for
talking.
David and Kalani's podcast. I think I've
Mm.
influenced them to start
You
their
definitely
own.
have.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. I will stop talking now. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day, week, month, year. All right. Peace and love. Bye.
Bye.